Roosevelt elk are an exclusive species to the Pacific Northwest. Dean Creek Elk Viewing Area is known to have a herd that lives there year-round. Places like this are a great opportunity to learn about and view these animals up close. Roosevelt elk can only be found at the western side of the Pacific Northwest. Just east of Reedsport on the Umpqua River is a very accessible elk viewing area. The 1,000-acre wildlife management area is half pasture land and half forested hills. The combination of river, marsh, and forest makes it the perfect elk habitat. The adjacent highway and rest stop setup are a bit of a turnoff for those wanting a true nature experience. But the place is still remote. Cars will pass by and leave while you stay and enjoy the sights. A herd of 100 or so elk is known to live here year-round. At times they split off into smaller groups, like these bachelors that did not want to deal with females outside of mating season. As you might be able to tell by looking at it, this was originally a cattle grazing area. The Department of Fish and Wildlife took control of it in the 90s and made it into a protected habitat. The O.H. Hinsdale Interpretive Center was named in honor of a Reedsport community leader and botanist. Nearby is a historic house that Hinsdale surrounded with an impressive assortment of imported plants. The Interpretive Center is filled with wildlife information and has a nice view of the entire area. Elk are the main attraction at Dean Creek, but other wildlife is of interest too. Birds appreciate this marsh habitat being especially large during this wet season. Just like drivers using the restrooms, migrating birds will use Dean Creek as a rest stop on their long journeys between summer and winter homes. A good camera lens or binoculars can be very helpful when trying to view wildlife. Red-winged blackbird is a common marsh bird in Oregon. It announces its territory with its song. They are known to be fierce and very territorial. The mallard is known to many as just a duck because it is so common. Part of why they are so common is because they have adapted well to humans. A much less common duck is the bufflehead. They are in the area just for winter while their breeding grounds are too cold. Buffleheads are America's smallest diving duck, while some ducks are not divers at all. The Canada goose will be seen anywhere in Oregon with water. These geese are waiting till it warms up so they can migrate north for mating season. There was also a great blue heron behind the geese, but I didn't notice it when shooting. American crow is known to be a smart and social bird. A lot of the birds on this day were common, but they were just a bonus in my search for elk. Depending on the season and what you can spot, the wildlife seen here will vary a lot each time. Other animals known to be at Dean Creek are beavers, muskrats, coyotes, frogs, the list goes on. I enjoyed the birds for a while because the elk were too far away. At some point they would graze along the large open fields, hopefully towards the viewing area. The Roosevelt elk is the kind of elk we have in western Oregon. There is another kind in eastern Oregon called the Rocky Mountain elk. The other two North American elk are Manitoban and Thule. Male elk are called bulls and females are cows. There is also an actual single black cow grazing with this elk herd. They seem to just be hanging out and tolerating each other's company. During the day, the elk here seem to stay on the outskirts of the open area. They are known to like the safety of being able to run and hide in the trees. Other than humans, their main predators are wolves, bears, and mountain lions. Around sunset time at Dean Creek is when the elk travel across the grazing field. While all the humans were at dinner, I had the place to myself to get a great view of this herd. Documenting wildlife is a big challenge compared to my usual rocks and holes. You have to be a lot more careful and patient with moving subjects. Roosevelt elk are the largest of American elk, with sizes that can reach just over 1,000 pounds. Other than a close-up look at genitals, the easy way to tell between male and female is that only males have antlers. Though this was in winter, where the males had shed their antlers to regrow them later in the year. This mostly female group was more calm, without the rowdy bulls challenging each other vocally and with shoving matches. This very cute and cuddly looking calf seemed to have some injuries. It was limping and had a scratched eye. Maybe it escaped from a predator or fell down. Elk are known to overconsume plant life when grazing. Population control like relocation and hunting is an important thing to maintain the ecosystem. I was happy to have some patience to be able to show off this herd. Roosevelt elk are a special animal for our land here in Oregon. That's all. Please don't leave me any weird comments that talk about aliens probing the elk or how they are actually AI robot death machines. Thanks.